Back with your girls, Meesa and Meah from You Already Know. It's M&M Live Radio, and as you all know, it's February here on the show where we have a new male guest each week, all month long, and we have our newest February guest on the airwaves with us right here, right now.
Yes, sir. That's right, Meesa. On top of being real, righteous, and relevant, he's one of the most authentic, influential, and raw artists you'll ever hear.
Yes, sir.
Born and raised in New Orleans, man. He's combined the hustle of an independent business owner with the heart of an educator and lyricism of a hip-hop heavyweight all into one. That's right. His new album, Finding Balance, is out right now. And we're going to talk to the mastermind behind the music right here, right now. We want to welcome Dee-1 to the show. Hey, yo, D, what's going on, bro?
Thank you very much for having me. This is an honor to be on this show. And yeah, I'm looking forward to, inspiring the audience with what we're about to talk about.
Listen, we love it, man. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us here on M&M Live Radio.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I salute y'all. We talked off air about the longevity that y'all have been having this show for and how long y'all been doing it, and also how long I've been rapping. And we connected at the Dove Awards probably 8 years ago or something of that nature. And that's amazing. Like 8 years of longevity is definitely not the norm in this industry. So if people are just doing something because it's the trend to have a show or a podcast, or being a rapper is the trend at the time, it ain't gonna last for no 8 years. You know what I mean? So we out here, you heard?
We out here, bro. We out here.
So listen, okay, before we get into like the seriousness of it, okay, I gotta get the shenanigans out the way, Meah. Okay, so D, Meah and I have never been to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay? Never been. And we have never even set our lips on a beignet. Okay? Do we need to go to New Orleans in order to get an authentic beignet?
Because we've seen places in Atlanta, but we're like, is it even worth it? Like, should we just wait until we get the real thing?
Right. It's like watching a bootleg movie. You heard me? Like back in the days when you could watch a bootleg DVD, and it's technically the movie, but you're gonna see the back of people's heads in the movie theater, and somebody was taping it with their camera inside the theater, and you're gonna see lines all in the screen. Like technically, it has the same name, but it's not the same experience. Y'all need to go to Cafe Du Monde. You heard me? In the middle of the French Quarters, in New Orleans. You could go to a beaucoup other places, but I would say Cafe Du Monde in the middle of the French Quarters, and get right and tell them D-1 sent you.
All right, I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down.
He said say D-1 sent you.
I'm writing it down.
Okay.
I'm going to hang up and book our flight off this interview.
Drop the Addy because I need it. I need it ASAP. Okay, so let's get that out the way. So you are always so vocal about your faith, your walk with God. I mean, and you've always talked about it in your music so freely. But, we've never heard you declare your music to belonging to a particular genre, whether it be mainstream hip hop, Christian hip hop. Is there any reason in particular for doing that or for not doing that?
Yeah, because I'm bigger than the genre. Like I'm a life changer. I'm a person that transcends the traditional boxes that people put you in. I'm bigger than my neighborhood. I'm bigger than my block. Where I grew up at in New Orleans, on the east side in the Goose. Definitely, nobody is doing what I'm doing right now. Nobody's life took the turn that mine has taken. It's dead in jail, in some type of crime related activities. Just being comfortable, just being on the block. That's the expectation. So once I realized that I'm bigger than my block and I'm bigger than any boxes that people try to put me in, I said, well, what do I look like trying to limit the talent that God gave me and saying, this is the type of music I do, or this is the box to put it in. It's just like, people gonna put me in a box regardless. So I'm cool. Like, I don't want to take the pleasure away from them. I let people enjoy my art, experience my vibe, and connect with, my life experiences and my music, and let them define it as whatever they want to. And I'm totally okay with that.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
D-1 is undefinable. I love that. So I love, we got to talk about this album, man. This new album that's out right now called Finding Balance. So in the intro to the album, you say, I got to let people know what finding balance is all about. So we want to hear from you, D. So what have you discovered in this journey of finding balance?
So I discovered 2 years ago on February 7th, 2020, when my dear grandmother passed away, Miss Lois Augustine. I discovered that I would never, ever be able to replace, who that woman was to me. And that feeling was something I hadn't experienced. I lost my best friend before he got murdered, but even that felt different than losing, my grandmother, the lady who put so much effort into raising me and helping make me the man I am. So finding balance became a thing where I had to reassess my whole life and ask myself what matters to me outside of just music and professional success. And am I going as hard in those other areas as I am in my career? And the answer was no, I'm not. So I need to figure out how to find that balance. Not that I don't want to go hard in my career moving forward, but how to find balance to be a great grandson, to be a great son, to be a great uncle, to be a great friend to people, to be a great mentor, to be a great child of God. Finding balance has been a journey that has changed my life because, mentally it's just helped me to be more grounded and to I think to appreciate things and live in the moment a lot more than what I was doing before. Like everything before, it was like, yeah, this is cool, but what's next? Or yeah, this is cool, what we got going on, but I can't be over here too long with you, Papa. I can't hang out with my grandpa too long because I got to get back to the studio. I got to do this. I got to do that. So I'm not even appreciating this time. And now it's like I'm learning to live in the moment and appreciate these moments so much that it doesn't take away from what I'm doing career-wise. If anything, it adds to what I have on the inside. I just have more fulfillment at this point. And that's my goal moving forward. I don't want to take 2 years to figure out how to find balance. And now that I made an album about it, now forget everything I learned and then go back to how I was. I want to keep that balance, and I just want to continue to elevate moving forward for the rest of my life.
No, I definitely feel that. I don't know. I think I was listening to a podcast not too long ago talking about just enjoying the moment, the current moment. I have my sister's daughter is my niece, and she's 10 months old now. And I would find myself being so caught up in like, oh, I'm like holding her and like rocking her to sleep, like for my sister while she's out and about, and me being like, oh, I have so much work I got to do. I got to take care of this baby. This I have to do this. And then something after hearing that podcast, something just clicked where it was like, like enjoy right now, like like she's never gonna be this age, this small again. So like you being able to sit and just rock her to sleep and watch Peppa Pig, you know what I'm saying? Like little things like that, like, just being able to embrace that moment and finding the balance between the two. You can always work, but like, what I'm saying? But like moments like that with your family, your friends, those unforgettable moments that you can't pay for are the ones that are like golden to have.
Yeah. And also so sorry for your loss, bro. Like I know how something like that can just knock you off balance. But the fact that, she still lives on the inside of you, like her spirit is ringing through this music. And the fact that she is a woman that you can definitely say, she really helped me become the person and the man that I am today. I mean, that's powerful within itself. That shows how much of a true queen she truly was, and how amazing this project is even going to be because of the purpose that you have on this earth. So I wanted to make sure I say that to you. So with this project, Finding Balance, right? 16-track album with about 9 different features that range from 1K Few to The Game. Like the features that you have on this project is absolutely insane. So what was your process like finding the different features, figuring out who you actually wanted to touch the album? Speak to me on that.
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of people wonder, like, D, where do you pull these features from? And I pull them from real relationships that I have. I always want to have a story behind why I chose to feature somebody on my project, So every single feature has a story. 1K Few, we did a show together in Atlanta about 6 years ago. That's when we first met, and we took a picture together. And he's like a little bro to me, and he just was cool people. I loved his energy and his spirit. And we've been, just observing and seeing one another all this time. And it got to the point where we did a show together in Minnesota. And after the show, we went bowling. So me, him, and Aha, all 3 of us, we went bowling together. And after we went bowling, it was a bunch of other artists there. It was like 7 or 8 other artists. It's probably 1:00 in the morning or something at this time. Everybody was pretty much going back to the hotel, going to sleep, about to fly out the next day. The 3 of us kind of looked at each other like, y'all trying to hit the studio? And we all was like, I'm about it if you about it. If you about it, then I'm about it too. And we went to the studio and we made this song called My Brothers, organically, literally in the studio. Probably made it in about 3 hours, if that, probably maybe a little less. And that's how that feature came about. So really organic process. The game, since you asked about the game, what people don't know is, I'm a proud college graduate. I'm a big advocate for education. I always rep the fact that I graduated college. I went to LSU in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I was a teacher when I first graduated. So before Dee-1's music career popped off, I was a teacher. That being said, to graduate from college, I had to do an internship in my field. I was a marketing major, business marketing. I went to New York the summer before my senior year, and I did an internship with a management company that managed artists like Gucci Mane, Rick Ross, Brandy, and The Game. The Game was one of their people they managed at the time. And I had to do a project. I was on his street team that whole summer. So I'm an intern for him, promoting his album, passing out flyers and CDs and all this stuff around New York City to promote his album. So for me to be able to go from an intern, you know what I'm saying, to now, like by the grace of God, God has been able to elevate my career to where now we have mutual friends and mutual connections. And now for us to be able to collaborate and do a song together, for me, that moment, that was one of those moments that I hold real close to my heart, because it shows that full circle grind of like, same thing. Like, yo, we was on the carpet 8 years ago at the Dove Awards, and now here we are, and look where y'all are, look where I am. And it felt that way with The Game, to go from an intern to a collaborator and to have him on my album. That song, Shine On, that song is powerful, and that song holds like a lot of special significance to me, because I really grinded to go from an intern to a peer, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Man, talk about a full circle moment. But I love the authenticity, because I feel like you can feel that even with the My Brother song with you and Aha and Few. Like you feel that, just like that brotherhood in the music, and then even also with The Game. Man, I love that, the fact that you had that connection back then. And then even now, you being able to have him on the album, that's absolutely amazing. And I'm glad that he had such a great touch on that song as well. And I think every feature on the project has definitely left their mark on it. And no person wasted a verse, a lyric at all on this album. But listen, guys, your girls M&M are hanging out here. It's February here on M&M Live Radio, where we have a male guest each week all month long. And listen, we have Dee-1 on the show with us. We're talking all about his new album that's called Finding Balance. That's out right now. Now, Dee, you talked about this earlier in the show, about you losing your favorite girl, and that's your grandmother. And like Meesa said, we're so sorry to hear that. How did dealing with the loss of a loved one affect your creative process when it came to the album? Like, did it help and you cope in some senses, or like, was it hard at times? Like, just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's funny. I was looking at one of my whiteboards yesterday at the crib, and I saw Finding Balance written on top of it, and I had release date May 28th, 2021, right? And I saw that, and I had the track list at the time written, and I was like, wow, this album was supposed to come out 9 months ago, right? And I thought about it, and I was like, what happened was I started creating this album the day we buried my grandmother. So My Favorite Girl, that song, I recorded that song like 6 hours after the funeral, and that song kicked off, the process of me starting to try to find balance in my life. From the time I created that song, I moved, you know what I'm saying? Like I ended up physically moving from my location where I was living. I ended up making some big steps in terms of just progression in life, being a homeowner, being like a person who honestly started just taking a lot of steps that I had been wanting to take, and I finally did take those steps over the course of this journey. And it was hard to feel like the album was complete, because I felt myself making progress and finding more balance in my life. And I was like, yo, I gotta capture this moment and make a song about this. I gotta capture this moment. I start putting my grandpa on social media some more and talking about all the fun times we have. And I was like, I got to do a song about Papa now because people love Papa from seeing him on my Instagram. So I got to do this. I got to do another song. And you know, and it was like, yo, this album ain't gonna never be finished if I just don't stop at a certain point. So the creative process has been something to where I want to add so much value to the lives of my listeners and my audience that like I wanted to keep going and keep going and keep going because it's not my album anymore. It's your album. Now it's out there for the world to consume. And what I've been able to succeed, you can't teach something that you don't already know. So as a teacher, you know, I can't get into class and teach math if I don't know how to multiply, if I don't know how to add, subtract, and divide. So finding balance became something where I wanted to truly speak from a place of, when I put this out, I feel like I have become an expert on how to find balance in my life. And I'm still working at it. It's still a process, but it's a journey that I have made a lot of progress in. So now it's about me helping other people, because I know I'm not the only person that was getting caught up in just competing with people on social media and just team no sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like team no sleep. Like, well, I love sleep. You know what I mean? Like,
Facts. Talk about it, D.
Forget that, man. Like I used to be like that though. Like nah, for what, yo? At this point, the creative process, something has been unlocked inside of me to where it's easier to create now. Ever since I lost my grandmother and I realized that wasn't going to break me. If anything, I've been able to put that in context of the bigger journey in my life and appreciate, you know, all the time I did have her. And it's given me like permission to still move forward and to not, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all this. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all, I gotta say this. Like God is really, really, really merciful, because the fact that my life was out of balance so much 2 years ago, if I would have lost any other family member, y'all, I don't know if I'd be here right now, because I would have been so devastated, because not only would they be gone, but I would have felt like, yo, I did not maximize the time I had here with them. And I know in my heart, any other family member, the fact that my grandmother out of everybody in my family was the first to go, that is the one family member who I can say while she was here, we definitely showed each other how much we loved each other. We expressed it, we talked. And although it still stung me just for her to be gone, there was a piece that I did have about it being her, to where I was like, yo, like everything down to, I can remember our last phone conversation and us talking. And it meant a lot to me. Once again, I'm just being real with y'all. It meant a lot to me to answer her last phone call ever, because I have a phone right here of, you probably can't see this, but all these missed calls, it says Mama House, right? You see that all these missed calls, because I used to be so busy that she would call me all the time. I'm looking like, this is like day after day after day. And I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna call my mom back. I'm gonna call her back. Like I'm busy right now. I want to talk to her, but I'm busy. But the fact that even despite that, we had such a tight relationship. Like I was like, God, man, you're so merciful, man. You knew what you were doing, at least in my life, because I don't know if I could have shook back from that being somebody else close to me. So what it did was it put me on alert. They're like, look, nobody gonna live forever, David. You heard me? Nobody gonna live forever. So make sure you're taking advantage of the time you do have with your other loved ones at this point, and figure out how to find that balance in life. And yeah, yo, so it's been a cool journey. And now I just want to empower everyone else to where they could feel this feeling, you know.
That's so powerful, because, you know, and I appreciate you so much for being honest and authentic with us and all of our listeners, because, you know, a lot of times when we think of like finding balance, we think of, you know, just having one area of your life that's a little off kilter, or like this part of my life just being a little skewed a little bit. But finding balance, this project can be applied to every area of your life, whether it be in relationships, whether it be career-wise, whether it be just, you know, just within like your small group knit of your community. It can be anywhere. Finances, it can be all over the place. But the fact that you were able to, you know, sit back and say, you know, 2 years ago, I was not in a place in which I was balanced, but you didn't allow for that to just knock you off your feet. Like you allowed, okay, I'm going to empower this moment. I'm going to put it someplace in which it can empower other people. And this project is going to do exactly just that, because, you know, there's so many different songs. Like I mentioned, it's about 16 tracks on the project, and we don't have time to go through every single song because, I mean, we'd be here forever, because I mean, the project is just that good. But, you know, I want to talk specifically about this one song in particular. It's J50 and Weezy Part 2, okay? So now you released Part 1 in 2010, right? But Part 2 is just so passionate, so raw, so authentic. And, you know, I just wanted to ask you, what inspired you to speak to these hip-hop heads again in your music with Finding Balance?
Because it was time for a progress report, you know what I mean, to come out. It's like, 10 years ago, actually more like 11 years ago, I did this song, J50 and Weezy, to where I called them out and I was basically saying, brothers, I'm a teacher. I can see firsthand the effect that y'all are having on the youth of America, especially Black America. And do y'all care? You know, do y'all care about the impact y'all are having? Because I'm seeing how so many of these kids are being led in the wrong direction because of the hip hop music that they're listening to and the artists they're looking up to. Yeah. So that was part one. Now, 10 or 11 years later, I felt like it was time for an update to see, has anyone progressed? Has anyone evolved? Because that's what we're here to do as people. And if you listen to the song, I mean, you see exactly how I feel about all three of them and about their progress or their lack of progress. But for me, that first one that I did, I don't know if y'all know, but that song changed my life. Like that music video and that song, that changed my life. That brought me from being a local rapper to, I say it in the song, I said I was a local rapper with a 9-to-5 back then. Now I'm a worldwide artist. I've been getting it in, you know? Yeah. And so for me to talk to those three brothers, I just felt like it was important for my fans to even hear the fact that, like, I still care about the role that we are playing as hip hop artists in terms of how we are coming across. Because as Black people, when we speak or when we do something, we represent our whole race. Like we do, whether or not it's right, whether or not we want to. When a Black person does something, it's like, oh, that make all us look bad, or that make all us look, okay, Issa Rae, you doing this? You making all us look good. Issa, go ahead, girl, keep killing it. Oh, you did this? You gonna make all Black people look bad right now. Like, you got us look a god doggone fool out here. So knowing that it's like that, I'm just really big on accountability for us as artists. And I don't think we can escape as Black people the fact that we are like pillars in our community and we are heroes to a lot of people that we listen to. So me speaking to Jay-Z, 50 Cent, and Lil Wayne 10 years later was necessary.
No, it was necessary, D. I'm not gonna lie. I said if anybody gonna talk about it, I know D gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you did the exact same thing. Well, I love the fact that you said you wanted an update, because I just think you're an advocate for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like from your standpoint of the positive impact it's made, you've seen what can be done. So when you see other people where it's like, yo, like you have just as much as influence as I do, and you only realized it, like, you know, we could move so much farther together. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I was for. I'm gonna put it in their DMs or something. Like, you know, that I know they heard the first one, they gotta hear the second one again.
Don't trip, baby girl, because the guess what? The video is coming soon. So when the video come out, we gonna make sure that mug is like all over the place. Cause what I say 50. We see it's all about $1 for you. Ain't nothing changed. This game still ain't nothing but a hustle. Money over everything. That's just how you think. You out here selling champagne and you don't even drink.
Man, you call them out, D. Come on. Let them know. Talk to them. Listen, we'll put that video on everybody. We're going to send it to all the labels. We're going to send it to the manager. We're going to send it to the mom and them. We're just going to make sure everybody gets it. But listen, y'all, Dee-1 has been on the move. First with the album, Finding Balance being out. But y'all, he's not even done. He's about to go on tour, y'all. Tour is in full effect next month. Make sure you guys go get your tickets to the Not Afraid tour. D, how are you feeling about going back out, like, you know, getting on the road, performing the new album live, and connecting with all your supporters next month?
I'm excited. It's a lot of work when you go on tour, but it all pays off when you're on that stage and when you spit in your lyrics and when you see the fans spitting the lyrics back to you, or you just see them vibing, or you get to interact with them at the VIP meet and greets, and they sitting here talking to you about the impact that your music has had on them. Like all of the work, it's a lot of work behind the scenes. I won't lie to y'all. Like touring, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of traveling, but it all pays off in those moments, because that's my favorite part of being an artist. Like writing, recording, collabing, all that is cool and I love it, but performing, hands down, my favorite part. So I can't wait. Everybody go get your tickets for the Not Afraid tour. Right now we got Nashville, March 11th. We got ATL, Georgia, my second home, March 12th. We got Charlotte, North Carolina, March 13th. We got Austin, Texas, March 27th. We got my city, New Orleans, April 9th, the day before my birthday. So that's going to be like a big birthday celebration for me. And we got most cities being added literally daily. So it'll constantly be updates. And I'm going to just be on the road, coming to a city near you. So make sure you pull up.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Make sure y'all pull up. Now, Dee, I really feel like, this is my opinion, Meah, maybe you'll go ahead and, chime in too. I really feel like you need to add Papa to the lineup.
Add him to the lineup.
Add him to the lineup.
Give him a quick set. Give him a mic and just let him do what he do.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Dee. This is the thing. Like he's easily become one of my favorite people on social media. So I have to ask. Okay, so with Papa. All right. Do you read him, the comments? Does he get involved with social media other than what you just show us? Like, talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah. Papa don't even know that he be getting recorded. Papa just be living his life, living his best life, being him. Yeah. And for me, I had to go and like honestly help rescue my man earlier, this was August 2021, Hurricane Ida hit New Orleans. And like my mama and daddy, they lost their house. My little sister had lost her crib. My grandpa's crib was affected. So I had to go. He almost passed away from dehydration down there because they didn't have any electricity in the whole city for like almost 2 weeks. And he didn't want to leave at first because he didn't want to leave my mama and daddy and whatnot. And we like, man, everybody is okay. You the one that's 91 years old that, everybody wants to be safe. So finally, I talked to him on the phone one day, and the way I heard his voice sounding, like I got on that road so quick, y'all. Like he finally was like, yeah, you could come get me, Doc. And the way he was sounding, I was like, he ain't got that long left. Like I could tell. I know that. And I was able to get him, bring him back out with me, and just to see his whole spirits lift, and for me and my dude to be able to kick it and literally share a space together, it had been a blessing. And we did that for a while. And I think I started capturing some of those moments just because I was appreciating them and I wanted them for me. And I guess me putting them on social media became something where I was like, dang, I love that y'all love my papa, because I sure love him. And the fact that y'all enjoy him as well, I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep showing y'all some little tidbits into our life. He's so cool that he just don't be tripping, so social media, he don't know anything about social media. I did a song on the album called Papa. We shot a music video for it. The video come out soon. When I tell you that he just so like cool that he's in the video, we shot the video together, and afterwards I'm thinking we gonna have like this heart to heart to where he gonna be like, Doc. He called me Doc. That's my nickname. He was like, Doc. I'm thinking he gonna be like, Doc, man, that mean a lot to me. I appreciate, you doing a song about me and da 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 da. And the only thing he told me after was, so who should I have my agent send the invoice to?
Classic.
Right. And I was like, bro, this man, he just so cool. And it's one of them things where I know how he feel about me. He know how I feel about him. And every now and then we'll have one of those moments where, we'll say it and we'll get kind of sappy and whatnot. And it's one of them kumbaya moments. But for the most part, we just living life and we just coexisting how we do. And it's just what's understood ain't gotta be explained. So that being said, yeah, like I just be going with the flow as far as Papa. So as far as him coming on tour,
can't you see it?
I know you're thinking about it.
Because we borderline almost had him in this interview too. We almost put him in the email too. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, like trust me. Right now, I guarantee you. Let me see. It's 9:33 in New Orleans. Trust me. Right now, he is sitting at the dining room table with the newspaper wide open, reading the newspaper with a cup of coffee, with the TV on the Science Channel, or the Discovery ID, or either the History Channel or the Science Channel. Yeah. And he's sitting there with his cup of coffee, and he about to make him a sandwich with some luncheon meat and with some cold cuts and all that. That is what he's doing right now. He chilling, yo. So I don't want to start giving him interview requests and breaking his routine, because he good, and he about to play some solitaire right after this, and he chilling, yo. He cool.
Oh man, that is so good to hear. And I mean, from us being people that are super close to our grandparents, and for you to be so, close with your grandfather and even your grandmother, she has passed on, it makes us feel as if we're part of something more than just the music. Like we're part of Dee-1's family in a way, but we truly appreciate you just, being always real, righteous, and relevant. Always been that as long as we've been knowing you. And you continuously doing that just means so much to the culture, just people in general, man. But Dee-1, Dee-Uno, man, bro, thank you so much for taking the time to be on this week's show. But before you go, give everyone your socials so that they can stay connected with you real quick.
For sure, y'all. Thank y'all for this opportunity so much. I truly salute what y'all are doing, and I'm really proud of y'all for the longevity and for keeping God first in it. So thank you for having me once again. For everybody watching, thank y'all for just enjoying this interview. Hopefully you gain some value from it, so you could go and apply finding balance to your real life, and just let the music be the soundtrack for the journey. My social media is Dee-1 Music, DEE, the number 1 music. That's on Instagram, that's on Facebook, Twitter, and even my YouTube channel, DEE, the number 1 music.
Listen, man, make sure you guys are following Dee on all social media. And listen, y'all, I'm telling y'all, make sure you guys go get this new album. I promise y'all, you will not regret it. It's entitled Finding Balance, and it's sold everywhere digitally.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And once again, we can't say it enough. Thank you so much for just hanging with us on this week's show. Just always know that you have our support. We'll talk to you soon. All right, Dee?
All right. Peace and love, y'all.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now all of our listeners out there, listen, don't go anywhere. Keep it where you got it, because we're about to hear some good music, that new heat from our February guest right here, right now.
That's right. Here's Authentic from Dee-1's new album, Finding Balance. Listen, turn this one all the way up, man, because it's got that New Orleans bounce you're going to be bouncing to, right? And listen, we'll be right back. You're listening to, you already know,
it's M&M Live Radio.
Blessing these beats. I'm Joe Clark when I teach. They leaning on me. We flipping M's to W's. It's all about we. I'm living life with a Christ-like mentality, so I can't be quiet about police.